guys, I might be here out in the country driving a Prius. I'm over by Weirton, West Virginia, and I'm just west of Steubenville, 200 miles from a ranch. Hopefully coming into Unionport. And back in '77 and stuff, when I was a kid, my dad used to talk about this woman buried her dog out here, which was the same year Elvis got killed, and they spent all this money on, she's like the richest woman in America, and she's from here, and her name was Helen Voorhees, and she married this 20-year-old older guy than her, and he passed away in 1970, and yes, Unionport, here we go. Poor Appalachia. So Helen's dad was a trolley car driver, I suppose, over in Pittsburgh, which is just a half hour, maybe even Steubenville. Her mom was a housewife, and she might have lived in that house right there, I don't know. So anyway, she tried marriage in her 20s and it didn't work, and then after childbirth age, at probably age 40, she moved to Florida. Got tired of this dirty steel town, coal mining, lumberjack, and she met, I've heard her described as a hat check girl, a coat check girl, and a cigarette girl. And she met Frank Brach, who's the heir to the Brach candy millions, largest candy maker in the world. And Frank married her, and she was only 40 and he was 60, and this is 1950. They married. They built, or his dad, Frank's dad was the Brach who built the company. They came over from England in the 1800s to Burlington, Iowa, and then when he got old enough, he moved to Chicago, and he bought a failing candy company, and then he started the Brach company. So very vague on these rich people. Frank must have been his only son. He inherited the candy company. So Frank marries Helen, and no one has a video on this on this YouTube that I'm aware of. That's a nice fire department. Unionport, Ohio, coal mining country. So Frank and Helen are married, and I believe they built a house, or they had one, and they had townhouses. But Fisher's Island, Miami, Florida, that's the richest community in the United States. They had Glenview, Illinois, up by Evanston, maybe even, or Barrington. Who knows all the houses they had? I've been in the car, man. I got lost. They had everything they wanted because they would have been equivalent to billionaires today. She married the billionaire guy. He passed away in 1970. I think they had 20 good years. It looks like they made a good couple. And when she buried him, they buried him here in Unionport, Ohio, by Steubenville, Dean Martin's. So anyway, Frank's dad's buried in Glenview or Evanston, I forget, up there by the Wisconsin line, Belvedere, Chicago. So when her husband died, she had this built for him, and this might have been more than what Elvis spent on his wife. And I wonder how many more Voorhees there are on here, in here. And I'm gonna be in a hurry today. Voorhees, God is love, Brach. So The story my dad was telling me, because he was hauling steel out of Weirton and everything back then, and she spent more money on this granite work than Elvis did on his mom, and the story was that this woman buried her dog. I thought there was two of them, but I think there's just one. It's Sugar, and the dog's buried. No, there are two. Okay. Yeah, Sugar and Candy, because I used to date a girl named Taffy and her sister, and his name was Candy. Candy died in '68. These were her poodles. Helen Brach. That's Helen's dad, the streetcar driver. So he died in '74, so he didn't get to see what happened. The mom died in '66. Helen's mom and dad are buried to the left, and her dogs are buried here. The richest woman in America, heirs to the Brach fortune, because Frank passed away in '70. But in '77, she went missing. And I don't believe what's being said about what happened, especially the horse connection. I mean, everybody who buys horses has problems with them. Just like a boat, they just eat a lot of hay and cost a lot of money. It's more of a story if you buy a horse and it wins races than that she bought these losing horses. And I don't think the guy was a killer. They put Richard Bailey in prison for 30 years. I don't think he's ever killed anyone. And so Helen's grave is empty. They never had a body. They'd be in the police. She's a missing person, actually. They don't know that she was murdered. I mean, out of, let's say, like today, $1 billion, she could have easily took $1 million and went to wherever she wanted and just got out of the life she was in. They blamed the houseman. They called her the houseman. She had a houseman, and they really blamed him. She went to the Mayo Clinic. It's in Rochester, Minnesota. It's in the boonies. And that was the last she was seen. I don't even think the airport was in Minneapolis. It was in Rochester, Minnesota. In the spring of '77, she went missing. And I've got pretty good connections on what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. They pretty well got it proven. They have the DNA in the Cadillacs, and actually Jimmy adopted people, and his family actually killed him. That does happen, and they want the money. But the house man, they call him, he got like $50,000 out of the money. Her fortune went to animal interest. In fact, there was an adopt a pet sign over here when I pulled in off of 22. Her dad was a Mason. Walter, Samuel, and Daisy, her mom. So I guess she just never had any kids. There was something here at one time. It's about the most amazing. I've never seen a video on this. I heard about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Helen Brach's grave that's empty. And in '77, yeah, I knew people. They got tired of life and come up missing. And the money was a problem that she inherited. And possibly could have got her murdered. But just as easy could have just been a missing person. Go around and look at the back of this real quick. Some really cool round. Checking out the granite. Almost would be like an eternal flame type of thing. But no one else in here had that kind of money. That was such a big deal when they put that in. And no one on YouTube. Tater was in Cadets at Humphrey Bogart or Clark Gable birth home. Jordan Lee was over there, and his mom. everybody goes to Cadets, which is just a couple miles from here, and the Roadside America attraction, erected 1968. Yes. Huh. So she built this before her her husband died. She built this for her mom originally. That says 68. And then Frank died in 70. She went missing spring of 77. And somebody knows what happened. I don't think it was anything that exciting. She probably had some money in every bank in town, and she just got tired of the headaches. Then it's kind of a mound going on out here. May eternal life be granted the servant who was one of God's good Samaritans. Father, I pray I may be worthy to be near my loved ones who are thee. Thanks for watching my videos, everyone. Brach Rippy over here. The empty grave of Helen Voorhees, Brach.